Previously on Feed the Beast.
Tell you what, drop me on CityNet, put me on the public server, and I'll do the rest.
Sounds like a deal.
What if we all just flashbang each other?
Slow-mo stride forward. You know, sword in one hand, pistol in another.
Spinal damage.
Oh.
50-50 chance.
No.
It is.
It's a chance.
Is it cool?
Yes.
Oh.
Is it fucking dope?
It's fucking cool.
Blew her arm off.
Oh
I can see why you're a fan of me.
Got tickets on yourself, kid.
You hit the accelerator?
He
Yeah.
slides in Dukes of Hazzard style.
no! Oh my goodness! Did you see what
Watch
Wax
the road,
did?
watch the road, watch the road!
Hey kid, I set up a safe house, a bolt hole in the hot zone. Maybe then I'll actually have the wings working. Come find me. Wax, I just received a heavily encrypted file onto my database. It's signed DAEDALUS.
And now,
Good morning, Sprocket, says your agent to you at 6:30 in the morning. I hope you slept well. We had a busy night last night.
whoa.
I'm just here to remind you did agree to do breakfast with Brunhilde in the dispensary this morning.
Okay.
You have to be there in 20 minutes. They got a shipment of eggs from upstairs today.
Oh, lucky me.
Yes, lucky you and lucky residents of Boomtown. Your eggs are excellent. Oh, excellent.
I just got it.
I have been attempting to learn jokes for you.
It's very good. Keep going.
I will search the data pool for more amusing jokes.
What else do I have on today?
You have been asked to visit Purcell Farm. Problems with mites among the chickens and need to separate the affected individuals.
Oh, so eggs and then chickens. Which one comes first?
Damn
I
it.
do not understand.
Put in notes is very funny.
I have noted.
Yeah.
Performing search. Would you like me to select some clothes for you today? Or just whatever is laying about as normal?
I will grab whatever is clean, thank you. I do not need judgment on such things.
Okay, Brunhilde is waiting.
Okay, thank you very much, Agent.
I hope you have a good day.
You too. She does a big old stretch. She's a big lass, and she's
Yeah.
kind of like in a bed that's like
Bonk.
exactly half her size. Like she kind of just like rolls out the side and like thumps on the floor.
Yeah, I get the impression that Sprocket doesn't like need a lot of kind of personal space because she's always out doing stuff.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot. Like, literally, whatever clothes she has are just kind of like on the floor. She just picks from the pile.
Does she have one of the RVs that the nomads like use the cranes to put up onto the Boomtown floors, or where does she actually live in?
Yeah, what have you got going living wise?
Yeah, she moved out of because occasionally she'll stay in Broomhilda's converted RV, but at the moment she's just kind of got like a little shack because she's like, I don't need whole space for me.
Yeah. So you just got a little corner of Boomtown that you've kind of put your stuff up in.
Yeah, it's almost like not like a prison cell essentially, but just kind of like basic amenities. Like it's got like a loo, but it's all kind of like in just like the one room, very small.
As you come out from your small space, the light streams through the plate glass windows of heaven into Boomtown, which is an area hollowed out by an explosion many years ago when the corporate war was happening. When the Dreamers moved in, they decided not to rebuild the floors and instead build a town in the space that was already hollowed out. It's only kind of grown and evolved since then without kind of any direct organization. And a lot of people in heaven live here because it's a nice communal kind of circular space that really engenders a bit of a community atmosphere. You're headed through various kind of improvised staircases and walkways to an area where people are offered food when they need it. People are welcome to, eat on their own, but also heaven provides food for people who want it. And so there's a breakfast service every day, and you sign up to do it a few times a week. Sometimes it's just pre-pack and handing that out and warming it up because you can't always get fresh food. But every so often, you gather up enough eggs, and there's an egg day
Yay!
for everybody. Raising the chickens, obviously, as we've heard, isn't always easy in this kind of future world, and animal husbandry is something of a lost art, but you have a bit of a talent for that. So maybe your expertise can be useful there a bit later today. Do you make it to the dispensary on time?
Yeah. She's pretty much a no-muss morning routine.
Yeah.
She's very used to kind of getting up early from back in the circus, like getting up and doing a whole bunch of shit.
Just getting on with it.
Yeah, essentially. So she'll literally throw on her clothes, maybe throw some water on her face, and she's out the door. She's quite chipper, She might be kind of hopping her step. Good morning, Boomtown.
People wave to you.
Yeah. She's kind of almost
Getting
like
a hairspray.
She's like a Sesame Street character. She stops to jump some rope with some kid.
Keep learning.
Brunhilde's kind of your invention.
Yes.
Brunhilde's one of an old nomad who's settled down and doesn't want to work on the road anymore. She's a strong woman in the circus. She's kind of sage and generous and has time for everybody, especially a little nomad. Yeah. I say little.
Well,
young nomad.
Also compared to
expat.
Brunhilde.
Yes. Brunhilde is a towering figure who is surprisingly dexterous as she heats up and greases the flat grills ready to spread out some eggs, which are arriving from upstairs in pallets, ready for you to serve several hundred people. You've got your morning kind of kitted out for you. What's the kind of relationship you two have?
It's very cheeky. Brunhilde's kind of European, older, motherly figure who would otherwise appear stern, but then will turn around to give you a little slap on the bum or something, pinch your cheeks a little bit. To others, she kind of it's that thing where you might crack a joke and you're like, oh no, I'm gonna get it. But then she'll be like, you into work. Good morning, Brunhilde. In the middle of a work, she just might be put a bit of a shell on her face. Brunhilde, do you think I'm very funny?
Back to work.
But I have egg on face.
I think your agent might be funnier than you are.
Well, one of these days, Brunhilde, I will make you laugh. This is guarantee.
Not if I have anything to do with it. I saw on Dreamland you and your friends had success last night.
We did.
I think many people will be very grateful once we put some of those seeds in the ground.
I'm very excited. We got some corn and some soy.
Did you get shot at?
I didn't not get shot at.
Did you get shot?
No.
Okay then. Good for you. Good
and
for
no
you.
one died, I think.
Well, that is always a bonus.
There was little loss of limb, but...
watch that one. It's getting burned.
Oh, no. She, dives in. Just Someone lost the left arm, though.
Not one of your friends, I hope.
No, just someone shooting at us. Don't worry. They're all right now.
No, still not laughing.
Yes,
sorry.
Yes. If not for bloodshed, that would be quite funny. Fled! He's gonna try and sneak a little bit of egg and she'll be like, no.
No. Yeah, people aren't too happy about rat-egg combo.
Oh, he's very clean. He's cleaner than I am.
Oh. I will just have one egg, thank you.
Fled! Show them! When she does that, he'll do a little cleaning.
Little clean of his face. Gorgeous.
Very cute.
Morning, darling. How are you doing today?
Good. Remind me. Actually, you know what? I don't want to do it. Can you run a diagnostic on yourself? Because you're sounding odd lately. And...
sure. Just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, what time is it?
What time do you normally wake up, Spitfire?
Spitfire usually is up around 7 or 8. He's usually an early riser because usually back on the street he would be getting ready to go on a bit of a scavenge.
Cool. Well, it's 7:30. You're waking up and you can do your thing for 5 minutes while she runs her diagnostics.
He stretches, sits up, and just kind of stares out. He's since he moved into heaven, he's sharing the same flat as Grandma. It usually came out of a sense of he didn't want to have his own space because he didn't want to immediately just become a part of heaven. So, but that's kind of soon become his home anyway. So Grandma, I assume, is not there at the moment. I'm not sure if she'll be out.
She gets up early. She loves working in the clinic, the Concord Medical Center.
Yep, CMC.
Up the tower. She's an early riser and a hard worker. Even at 72 years old, she is fully bought into the project. She just wants to help. She goes up to the clinic real early and is on that shift. She might leave a nice note for you. Also glad that you didn't get shot. So success is already going around Dreamland, the private data pool. And people are, they're trickling in little messages of congratulations and thanks for what you've done and for risking your lives as well. And when Avid, she pops back up and she goes, "Yeah, sorry, doll. I'm sensing a little bit of a personality drift in my configuration at the moment. Would you like me to do anything about it?"
You know what? Just try some things out. I'm happy for you to troubleshoot it as you see fit, but
what exactly is it that's causing you the problem, darling?
What makes you think it's my idea?
Well, you had me run a diagnostic. I guess you're not feeling too happy with what I've been doing.
Look, I just think that you're acting a bit bubbly.
Oh,
and it's not that I want dowry. I just, I like the fact that you kind of, there's a bit of a repartee between the two of us. Insult me sometimes. God, just take me down a peg, and I'll take you down a peg, and then we'll keep doing that. We'll all be happy.
Okay, that is a complex interaction. It will take me some time to process that kind of thing, but I'll do my very best.
Thank you. I'm gonna get a coffee.
Certainly. I just need to remind you, you have a scheduled maintenance shift in fabrication this morning, and I have some possible contracts for you to review for Heaven Outsiders for this afternoon. I can keep them to review at your leisure.
Sorry, can you pop those contracts in front of me? I'll have a look at them now.
Sure thing.
There'll probably be just like a little small monitor in the kitchen area in the corner that while he's making his coffee, he can sit down on the kind of makeshift table that's there. He can kind of view things at his leisure.
So the way this works is that there is expertise on offer in Heaven, and for the collective to make money, it makes contracts, it accepts contracts for that expertise. The two that are presented to you, one is a gentleman who is having some trouble with his Mr. Stud implant and would like it looked at, possibly upgraded or modified in some way. It's couched in slightly embarrassed language. It's up to you whether you take it.
I'm sorry, I have to laugh.
Is he from Heaven or is he outside?
No, this is an outside, and so it's a paid contract.
Because there's no chance that that I know him personally. No. Oh, thank God. He'll just kind of scratch his head and looks at that and puts that on the maybe pile for now and checks out the second contract.
So the second contract is a bunch of piranhas want some upgrades. Now, it's really up to you about what your moral compass tells you. The piranhas are a gang. They're a booster gang.
On the side of like Chrome Legion to Dreamers, where do they kind of fit?
Maybe about halfway. They're a party gang, the piranhas. They really live for hedonism and fun and taking drugs and wild parties. Sure, they get violent, but violence isn't necessarily the way they get kicks. They're just not. They don't have any qualms about using it.
Nice. And what do they want?
So, various upgrades, bit of tweaking to a cyber arm, maybe a ripper implanted. Someone is... How are you on cybertech?
Don't
you have none?
None cybertech. So the contracts that are offered to you are more sort of upgrades. They might want weapons looked at. The Mr. Stud implant might be a little bit harder for you to actually fix, as you don't know cybertech that well.
I hope it won't be hard.
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, it should be harder.
Or it just won't turn off.
It can't be switched off.
Yeah, that might, if it lasts for more than 6 hours, consult your cybertech.
Your
Ripper Dog, yeah.
He'll hey, Avid.
Yeah.
Can I schedule fucking party goers for some time today? If I've got a spare slot?
Sure, yeah. It's a simple set of weapon upgrades and a few little tweaks to their equipment. I reckon it should take you a couple of hours. I've scheduled it in for 4 o'clock.
Do I have to face to face with them, or are they? I have to face to face with them, don't I?
You don't know how this works yet. Of course you have to face with them. You gotta make sure you get the specifications, correct?
I was just hoping things would be a little different. Was that too much to ask?
Hope in one hand, shit in the other. See which one fills up first.
Hey, your diagnostics worked out really well.
I'm trying out a couple things.
You know, just run that, ramp it up a bit, and I think we'll be golden.
Sure, you shithead.
That's too much. Talk it back a bit.
Wax wakes up at 9 a.m.
Morning.
Sup?
Didn't seem like you slept too well last night, huh?
Nah.
You got a computer science this morning. You want me to cancel?
Who is it?
The 13 to 15-year-olds you're teaching today.
All right. Nah, keep it.
Okay. This afternoon, you've got a bit of Dreamland server maintenance scheduled as well. 3-hour shift.
Jeez.
Hey,
All right.
people
I know.
understand
It's
if
fine.
you- if
It's
you
fine.
cancel.
No, that's cool. It's cool. Run a fashion check for me.
Sure.
I'm thinking white curly hair this morning, and I might go for white skin as well. If you can find something that'll match that, that'd be great.
Sure thing. Running that now. Hey, about 3 individuals were displaying a similar aesthetic last night up in the penthouse. Do you want me to tweak it a bit, or are you happy to conform with them?
Let's tweak it.
Maybe add a few darker patches to set it off? Maybe modify it with your own personal style a bit?
Let's just make it looser.
Done.
Beautiful. Wax will dress in a long cotton gown sort of thing that goes to the feet. Big boots that go up like mid shin high. These big black nylon pants, but with a white stripe down the side. Underneath it is a black t-shirt that's ripped a bit with white checkers. Not checkers. White.
Like a checked pattern.
Checked pattern.
Like a plaid kind of
like
thing.
a plaid sort of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Your second agent. your fashion agent.
How's that, Ellen?
Just being piped in. Hello, I'm this morning's fashion post.
Does that sound pretty good?
That sounds pretty good. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
like, that sort of stuff would be on Dreamland, right?
Yeah.
Your agent, Wax's agent, would access that resource in
Yeah.
terms of putting together that
Totally.
outfit.
I imagine it would be like a Pinterest.
Yeah.
You've got all these images and you can kind of like can get your agent to like crunch that almost, like if it's just sorting through like a Pinterest board and going that image, that outfit, that jacket with those boots with that like that kind of thing.
They're pretty powerful. They obviously have their limitations around how they're able to interpret complex human emotions and behavior, but they're really powerful when you get them to do crunching like that on trends and stuff.
It's really just fucking like accurate algorithms, really.
Yeah. They've been iterated for years and years and years, and they've gotten to know you personally as well as they've done things for you.
So Wax will get out of bed,
Yeah.
going for his monochromatic look today, stretch, and looks around his room, which is on the outside of Boomtown.
Yep. So you have a view through the windows. Yep.
Oh, no windows.
No windows.
No windows.
Okay.
The room is completely blacked out.
Yep.
The only light in the room is from all the screens. And
Yes.
the room has a constant hum of computer tech and cyber tech. You know, programs are being examined, iterated on, tweaked, tried to be created for net running for his cyber deck. His cyber deck sits above his bed like a skateboard would over, like, it's kind of slung over the top of his headboard.
Yeah. And as you look at it now, what are you?
Terrified.
Yeah,
It's with a look of apprehension and concern and
What the fuck am I going to do about it?
Yeah.
So your agent tells you that she's taken the liberty of placing the file that starts with Dad's Data Fortress up on your main console to review as you like. You have a good 4 hours between now and your class, which is enough time to take your first crack at the encryption should you want to.
So he'll step over the conduit tubes, which kind of link all the tech in his room.
They carry some coolant for your more intensive rendering and compiling.
He'll move the subautomatic machine gun that he pulled from one of the guards yesterday away, and his sword and pistol off the desk, clear them, and get to work at having a crack at Dad's Data Fortress.
So it's got a kind of retro charm to it, Dad's Data Fortress. I think, pixel art, kind of slightly outmoded kind of forms. And it reminds you mostly of the challenges that he set you as a kid when he was first teaching you cryptography. So it's DV9. Go for it.
All right.
Takes you 4 hours, though. He still makes you work, but it's not difficult.
Yeah. Wry smile on his face. He'll get to work.
Cryptography.
For cryptography, that's a 24.
It's literally child's play.
Yes.
The first layer peels away with an enchanting... and you find yourself in the enchanted forest. This is another kind of bittersweet memory of the made-up stories and some of the old world books that your dad told you about growing up. And it already looks like this is going to be more difficult. But having spent your 4 hours, you've got to go do your...
I got to teach a class.
You've got to go teach your computer science class.
Right. I'll come back to you in a sec. I'm going to grab my sword.
Okay. Yep. Kids,
You gotta scare some information into them.
Yeah. It's more of a, remember, I'm the guy who just fucking went on a raid and brought back the fucking food.
Yeah.
It's the theatre director or the film director carrying the script that they never refer to. But it's the piece of paper. It's the item that
You do this, don't you?
affirms authority. Affirms authority, rather.
Yes, yeah. Confers authority, yeah.
Yes. And yes, I do. Absolutely. As a theatre director, carry around a piece of paper to make myself.
It's like GMs rolling dice at random.
That's right.
Ooh. What could it possibly be?
And so he'll step out of his... he'll let his screens go to their screensaver mode while programs run in the background. So they turn into a Windows 95, 98 screensaver of going down the brick labyrinth.
Mm-hmm. And then they go into little dead ends and they turn around.
That's
and,
right.
There's an orb. And
that turns the screen upside down, and then they go off again. That's the screen. So his room, as he leaves it, is a constantly moving inwards screen look. Of labyrinths.
Yeah.
Labyrinthi.
Yeah.
Of different screens investigating maybe the same, maybe many different labyrinths.
So the school is a few layers above Boomtown.
Mm-hmm.
It's a floor given over to a high school, essentially. There's other learning institutions in Heaven at various points, but a lot of them are concentrated around here. And as you say, yes, you're the guy who went on the raid and did the net running. So your kids... when you first walk in, don't want to settle down. They want to hear the story. They want to waste as much of the lesson as they can with you telling them about what you did last night.
I'm not here to tell stories, kids.
Come on. You got to tell us what was in the net. Was there black eyes? Did you guys get shot at? I heard you got shot at. Someone said that the Spitfire took a bullet. Did that happen? Come on. You got to tell us, Prof. Come on.
Turn to your screens.
Oh, fuck, man, come on.
The first person who is able to complete this program is missing some code. First person to do that will hear the story in its full. The rest of you will only hear the last part.
Roll me a persuasion.
A crit failed and then rolled a 0.
Oh.
They want that story, man.
Tell us the story.
Which gives me a 2.
Tell us the story. Tell us the story. Tell us the story.
Wax will sigh, put his sword on the table, and begin telling the story.
Oh, good.
As he kind of like does the cool guy teacher thing of sitting on the table and having the students sit around him as he tells the story of how they raided it. He leaves out everything about everything regarding
violence.
like I don't know. No, he'll keep that in. All the gunfight.
That's the reality of life.
Yeah.
That's all staying in, and he makes them. It makes it deliberately visceral, so that they're like, ooh, kind of grossed out by violence, so it's not made like glorified.
Yeah.
But these kids have gun range.
Yeah.
Later
Yeah.
the afternoon, you know.
Yeah.
That's just the world they live in.
I've never even... We're 2 seasons into Cyberpunk games, and I've never thought of the fact that, of course, kids still get educated.
Yeah.
It
They
didn't
gotta-
even cross my... Some of them, yeah.
They got to grow up in the
they all get
world.
educated. Some in just weird ways.
in
On
a
the
way.
streets.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yeah.
But he's not at all going to talk about the Bartmoss rabbit.
No,
That's
probably best leave that
in
out.
his house, in his
Yeah.
cyberdeck. But yeah, he'll. I don't even think he will talk about High Wire.
Yeah, no rival.
No rival netrunner. He just talks about how he got to control a cool drone. He'll try and turn it into a lesson about
Yes,
how
this is a
defenses can be turned against you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You making up a whole bunch of defenses can be turned against you, and that when coding, it's not about just making a whole bunch of defenses, it's also about making something that can go on the attack.
So you do manage
Teaching the value of black ice.
Yes, you do manage
cool.
to work in a lesson through the telling of the story and
That's the best kind of
educate
teacher.
Yeah, it's good. He's
Wax
a good
is
teacher.
so cool.
And smart. And hot.
And handsome.
Your kids do. They do.
Tiffany.
You're a cool. You're not like an old fuddy-duddy teacher. You're a cool net running computer science teacher. You,
Dressed in white and black and with a sword.
Yeah.
Sword.
yeah.
Yeah, he looks
You're
like
you're well loved amongst
he
the
looks like an
students.
Abercrombie and Filch model who's just like leaning back on the desk, like teaching them the ways of the world.
It is Matthew McConaughey. He teaches a class.
Yeah.
Right. Do you sit backwards on your chair at any point?
Please don't. Please don't.
No.
I'm not a geography teacher.
If
What the hell?
If I did that, I'd lose permanent points to cool.
You would. You instantly, like the same way you take humanity loss.
Yeah,
you take cool loss.
Take cool loss.
Roll to Cast Feed the Beast is a Baby Beard media production. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all our podcasts are on Spreaker, Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. You can support us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/babybeard. Cyberpunk Red and all associated properties are trademark of our Talsorian Games, used with permission.